incisions into people's body parts that appear to be the other body part in service of a condition in which they think they are something that they're not, that they were born as.
That is not.
In
no.
service.
What's the condition?
Well, the condition would be gender dysphoria. Do you guys not believe in that?
That has nothing.
Yeah, we do, but that's not what gender dysphoria is. Gender dysphoria is not the belief that you're something else.
Well, it's not the belief that you're something else, but it's the discomfort in what you are, correct?
No.
The extreme distress caused by the incongruence in your sex and gender.
What?
The extreme distress caused by the incongruence between one's sex and gender.
So it is the extreme duress caused by your gender, correct? Does that not seem like a mentally held position?
The extreme distress caused by the incongruence in your sex and gender. It's not believing something you're not.
It's not believing something you are not, but it's being discomfortable with what you are, correct?
With something about
you.
Yes, which certainly leads to one believing that they are something that they're not, or believing they would be something that they are not.
No.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. No. If someone gets plastic surgery, it doesn't mean they're not, like, they believe there's something they're not.
They are uncomfortable with a part of their body.
But doesn't mean doesn't mean they believe there's something they're not.
They desire to be something that they are not, but they are not biologically.
No, they don't.
No. Okay, so if I get a big fat BBL, right? I desire to have a bigger booty than everybody else around me, right? I do not have that booty, so I am desiring to have.
It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with bigger booties than other people around you either. Like what?
I had mental distress, and I had to get my extreme mental distress about the size of my booty. Of course.
Not necessarily.
What if I did?
Great.
Honestly.
Well, I'm just. You guys are arguing over terminology and.
Because you're being
semantics. You're playing word semantics.
A disingenuous piece of shit, and we don't feel like having this conversation.
So, are you going to kick me out just because I was the actual intelligent guest here?
Look, first of all, you can't claim to be the intelligent guest whenever everything you're saying is incorrect. You know, that's not how it works.
You have yet to conclusively prove.
We have repeatedly. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Mel would not kick you out. I would, because I'm tired of the disingenuous shit. Have an actual for real conversation. My God.
So frustrating the way to so this is what you believe. How about you just ask? Postman, you got kicked out. Go away.
You can ask questions and talk, for God's sakes.
Hello?
Seeing what happened to the last dude. Yeah.
Do you want to have a conversation? Can we talk, please? No? Okay. There you go. He left.
It's being so annoying.
The love of Christ.
I think my husband locked him in here.
Hi, I am 22. So for the people sitting there saying, "Oh, we don't want people to chop their body parts off." Okay. Then stop not letting kids go on puberty blockers. Stop saying that puberty blockers are going to harm kids. I wouldn't have to cut off masses of breast tissue off of my chest due to severe gender dysphoria if I could have gotten on puberty blockers when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Right, they actually help prevent some of these surgeries that people seem to have such a fucking problem with.
Yep.
Agree.
But yeah, that was pretty much my whole point. Just stop getting mad about stuff when it's easily preventable. And just let people be. Why does this affect your life? Why are you so invested in what other people do with their bodies and in what other people do with their lives, as long as it's not hurting anybody else?
Right.
I sure as shit am not sitting here hurting people. I mean, no tolerance for the intolerant and no kindness for the unkind, but I'm not actively out here hurting people, restricting people, etc.
Exactly. Thank you, Agender Potato. I appreciate you.
It's a great name, too.
It really is.
Ew.
Bye.
And I definitely love that. No tolerance for the intolerant. I completely love that.
Yeah, I don't know why people think we need to be tolerant of intolerance. It's wild.
Speaking of which, I'm intolerant of Abby's curls because they're always gorgeous and it makes me angry.
Well, maybe you want to work through that.
No, I have anger issues. I'm gonna hang on to them. I'm gonna be spiteful of the curls. I'm gonna start an anti-curl campaign. We must get rid of all curls because they offend me.
Well,
Okay.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Can you guys hear how loud my cat is being? It's
Oh
ridiculous.
my god! And Tiny's answering too. You hear Tiny?
No,
That's good buzz.
it's funny. Hello, Maggie.
Hey, I was trying to get the video to work, but it's just not working for me. So I just wanted to come on and say that I see you on here often and appreciate you being so vocal for a minority of the population that has doesn't have as much of a chance to be vocal. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. I need to reset because apparently it's for hate speech.
Hate speech for the last couple of kind guests. Amazing.
Apparently. All
We
right,
had to say chop it off and no, but just being kind. Oh, that's too much.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this eyeshadow looks like crazy dark on camera, like weirdly tan. It might be my backlight. Hold on. What? What? All right, let's try this again.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how old are you?
18,
What year were you born?
2006,
What month?
May.
Oh, like very recently?
Yeah, I just turned 18. What is that, the 24th?
Yeah.
What's today? Yeah, I turned 18 like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
All right, what's up?
How old is a kid? Like, is it like 7 to 12, 12 to how old are you talking like a kid?
Youth, like anyone under the age of 18.
So, do you believe do you believe it's responsible as a parent to let your kids eat whatever they want for dinner, whether that's candy or ice cream or any of that?
Maybe like sometimes, but that's irrelevant to
No, it's
medical.
not it. I'm using it to make my point.
Well, your point is ridiculous because that's
You
not.
haven't heard my point.
Because I know that is silly.
Right. It's
No.
silly to let your kids eat candy for dinner.
Yeah, what you're trying to compare it to is ridiculous.
I mean, the way I look at it, why would you let a person who's not concerned about the way they live their life and the things that they do in life, such as what they eat for dinner and how they nourish their body, that don't like to regulate what time they go to sleep at, none of that's a concern in their brain, and things that regular people do to function, like going to bed at a reasonable hour or eating something that's not
What's funny about this is
trash.
that, you know,
And you're letting those people change their bodies because they want to at that age.
it's not because they want to, right? And the things that you're comparing are kind of ridiculous. And actually,
I'm
children
using that to show their judgment.
who suffer from gender dysphoria often have issues with sleep and regulating sleep. And so getting them gender affirming care can actually help with that. So
They're still kids. It's something that all kids do. Everyone did it as a kid. Most people, not like everyone, but most people did it as kids.
do what as kids?
Ask for candy for dinner. Stay up as late as their parents will allow them to, as long as they can. So you could see their judgment.
Completely irrelevant.
No, it's
Again,
not.
what do you do with their judgment?
I'm saying this to show their judgment, the way they view things.
Yeah, and children who are transgender still need boundaries, right? They still need to have parental guidance when it comes to what choices they make to eat and sleeping and all of those things.
Right.
They're not comparable to medical care. If a child needs to have their wisdom teeth removed and they need a surgery under the age of 18, do you say, well, you know, you want to have candy for dinner, so you definitely can't have that surgery?
That's beyond them, though. That's
It has
not
nothing-
something. You're comparing something that's like saying
You're doing.
those are two completely different things.
You're
Getting your wisdom
comparing
teeth
a
removed.
necessary
Getting your
medical care.
kids cannot want to get their wisdom teeth removed because a lot of kids are scared of the dentist. So if they don't want to get their wisdom teeth removed, then they shouldn't have to, right?
Right, and if they don't want gender affirming care, they don't get that either. So it's like you understand, but you don't. It's
Well,
really
what about a kid that wants glasses but don't need them? My little sister is one of those kids who's always wanted glasses but she never needed them. Should she be?
can get
It's totally regular to
then you can
buy
get
prescription glasses for her.
right? Then you can get glasses without a prescription.
So then you should do you believe that transgender kids, really quickly, I want to go back to that, but really quickly, do you think that transgender kids should get on hormone blockers and all
Yeah,
that?
I think they should get the medical care that they need to relieve the symptoms of gender dysphoria. So whatever that entails, then that's what the child should get.
All right. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that really quickly. Now going back to that, you said that if they don't need glasses but they want glasses, get them non-prescription glasses.
Yeah.
And
I don't see why you can't just like focus on gender affirming care and like what the benefits are and why children get this medical care versus you just
these
making
kids
all
cannot
these
they can't be, they're not responsible for themselves. They have poor judgment over everything.
And they don't do any of these things on their own. And children do not have poor judgment over everything. That is a wild claim.
Most things. They're children.
Did you just stop having poor judgment 2 weeks ago?
Seriously,
I
Bish.
mean, I wouldn't say so. I'm talking.
Oh, no, I'm saying you weren't 18 yet, so you must have had poor judgment until 2 weeks ago. What happened the day when you woke up?
Bringing that up is completely irrelevant.
You mean like bringing up candy?
People
Like bringing
grow
up candy and bedtime? Are either of those things medical health care?
Motherfucker. I am not going to be able to be live.
Are you kidding me? Meow too. I agree. Meow meow.
Meow meow, Tiny.
Meow.
Yeah. And the same thing, it's hate speech. Like, that's what they want to get me on right now. Go ahead, keep trying, fuckers. I'll be right back. But she really wanted to. Oh, God, seriously, Bish, but I don't think I have anybody to talk to. Oh, my. Hello.
Howdy.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Jesus, why is everyone 18? What year were you born?
I was born 2003.
No, you were not. Good God. Hello, everybody. Hello again.
Hi.
Absolutely not. Are there any adults out there? Anybody? Any adults? Any adults out there who want to have an actual conversation and not some wild shit? Trident? Chill, bruh. I don't know what is up with this lighting, but it's really making my makeup look really weird. Anyway, I just get settled in and like I add my friends and then boom. How many kids do you have? 2. Did this person connect and I have a glitch, or are they not connecting? Let me know if I have the weird glitch. Looks like I do. Nope. No, you actually did. That person connect?
I saw their thing. I didn't hear them or anything.
All right. And I never know. Anyway, let's try this again. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 24. I was born in 99.
All right, what's up?
I just want to say, and I'm not saying that I don't support trans people, because I do, 100%.
Except for kids.
Yeah, well, even kids. I agree with it 100%. I just want to say, because so I know it's weird to say like politically I'm moderate, but it's like it's difficult to watch. Like I know it's hard to hear other opinions. I just wanted to personally say I feel like the only reason it's being reported as hate speech is just because I feel like it is a little bit discriminate, but those people are coming in here knowing that they're coming in here with a differing opinion. So I would hope that they come in here expecting an argument or a debate.
No, I mean, we have conversations all the time. It's when people say things about like, chopping it off and all the other ridiculous things. I mean, if someone wants to have a genuine conversation, we're going to do it. It's not a problem. We prefer to have those. It's just all of the other craziness. It's not just having an opinion. It's just someone being like deliberately hateful or disingenuous, and that's frankly just not worth the time.
Okay. So it's like, I guess another example of if this was reversed would be like if a cis person was doing a live that said the opposite, and someone that was trans came in there and was like attacking the cis person for like being cis and saying like language that is
What? What are you talking about? The guests are coming in here being hateful, and I am getting flagged for it. What are you talking about?
I think people are upset when people get kicked for having a differing opinion, but I can understand it when people say things like cut it off and like try to purposely be hateful. But
one genuine conversation since they started this today. So like, what is your point?
No one has been kicked for having a different opinion. People have been kicked for saying horrible and hateful things and being disingenuous and lying about their age and things like that. So that's
so then in other cases, I guess people are just leaving because they don't want to continue a conversation.
What?
I don't understand what you're doing, honestly. Are you fighting for them? Like they should be allowed to say their bullshit and we should listen?
As long as it's not as long as it's not crazy hateful, yes. Because I feel like if it was reversed, if someone were to kick a trans person for having opinions like very strong opinions on someone's cis's post and they got kicked, it would be seen as discriminatory or hate speech.
Yes, cis people are discriminated against all the time, right? Can you give me an example of discrimination that cisgender people face for being cisgender?
Yeah,
I would love to know that.
Fighting for cis people right now and how trans people attack cis people.
No, I'm being very genuine on that question, Elijah. Name one piece of legislation against people for being cisgender, please.
It's not legislation. I'm talking about like if someone was making a live, right, and they were talking about how like what he was saying about like it being a mental health thing, and someone that was trans went in there and started saying similar things, and they got kicked for saying something against that, then it'd be seen in a pretty negative way.
Is it discrimination for? Again, you use the word discrimination, and that's what I take issue with, because there is very clear discrimination against transgender people. Incredibly clear discrimination. There's nothing against cisgender people. They are not the victims in this case.
Especially children.
Yeah, especially we're talking about with kids. So fighting for, hey, we should be nicer to people who are trying to discriminate. No, thank you.
Yeah, fuck them.
I wouldn't say like being nicer. I guess it's more of like a respect thing. It's more of like give people the respect that you would want joining someone's life and having a differing opinion.
Can you give me an example of someone you saw kick? Okay, because there were people about chopping it off and saying horrible things. What was someone kicked for having a genuine conversation that we did today? Can you give me an example?
I haven't been in here long enough. I just have experience with other lives.
Then maybe don't come, please.
What are you? Go away.
Because at this point, I'm like, we're trying to have actual conversations, and you're making an accusation that people are being kicked for genuine conversations, and that is not happening. We don't do that.
Maybe it doesn't happen in here, but I've been in Adora's lives, and I know Adora does that.
I don't give a fuck.
Is this Adora's live?
Yeah, we're not Adora, though.
That's fair.
And people often think that I'm kicking people who are genuine when I know they're disingenuous. So
Yeah.
just because you're perceiving something some way doesn't mean that's reality. And again, it's my life. I should be able to kick whoever the fuck I want when I want. It shouldn't matter. No one is entitled to have a conversation with me.
That's fair.
Cool. Okay, bye. You know, what did I say about not having a lot of time? Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how old are you?
30.
30? 30?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's up?
Yeah, I guess just want to see if you guys can clarify your position.
Some kids are trans. They deserve to be supported, whatever that support looks like.
Okay. I mean, I agree with the general idea of supporting them, but I guess I wouldn't take it as far as whatever that looks like, because that implies all sorts of things, right? So,
Don, do you know what gender affirming care is? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You can ask the question.
Your question's good. Go ahead, Bish.
Do you know what gender affirming care is? Let's start with that, the conversation.
Generally, yes, but I don't know the specifics.
One of you want to take it?
So, is there like different types?
It's the thing is, it's not like specific to it looks different for everyone.
Yeah, that would make sense, right?
It can be therapy, puberty blockers, hormones, surgeries. And then there can be social affirmation as well. Pronoun changes, clothing changes, haircuts, things like that.
Do you see all of those different, what you call them, gender affirming care methods? Therapies? Sorry, I don't know the exact phrase you used, but do you put them all on this sort of an equal plane, or are some more important than others?
Well, I mean, there is a process in place. Like you can't get puberty blockers or HRT as a minor without therapy. Like therapy is included, so it depends. Like there are certain requirements for certain things. I can't think of a better word.
No, I get what you're saying. So it's not like
You're not getting puberty blockers, hormone or HRT or surgeries without a gender dysphoria diagnosis.
Okay, so the diagnosis it would have to, right, for this to make any sense, because nobody can just ask for this stuff and just get it without a diagnosis, right? So it's kind of implied. I guess my main thing is there are things that you wouldn't let your child do, right, just because they asked for it. But
right, and again, this is not something I'm talking about that a child is just asking for. Like there's benefits.
Okay, so but on this particular topic, you basically say it's fine whatever the child asks for, just not in other areas.
Children aren't asking for puberty blockers or hormone therapy. Kids don't say, "Hey, mom, can I have some hormone blockers? Hormone therapy?" They're not saying that.
No, I mean in the sense of, your child comes to you and says, "I have, gender dysphoria." I don't think it's ever going to come exactly like that.
A child cannot diagnose themselves with gender dysphoria. Do you know what gender dysphoria is?
I'm just going to say generally, but without getting too technical. So, okay, how does that process look like for you then?
Well, Don, just to help the conversation, and this is not to make fun of you at all. I mean, it means just to make sure we're on the same playing field. What do you think it is?
Sorry, can you ask that again? I didn't hear.
What do you think gender dysphoria is? I'm just curious because I'm not. I just for the conversation. It's not to mock you, or just to see that we're on the same page.
Yeah, so I essentially just, if somebody thinks they're the wrong gender, right?
No.
Or feels they're the wrong gender.
No.
It's not?
No, there's actually nothing about like being a wrong gender, right? It's about some children come to recognition that they're not the gender that people around them have assumed them to be. That is being transgender, when your gender identity and your sex assigned at birth do not align. Gender dysphoria is extreme distress. It's a distress-based disorder that can come along with having that incongruence. But not every transgender person has gender dysphoria.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's why a child cannot have any type of medical care beyond therapy without that diagnosis, because they have to have clinically significant symptoms that need treatment.
Right. Okay. I guess I could even grant the general idea, right? You gotta, this is like on your prompt, right? You gotta let kids be what they want to be. You don't want to suppress any of their expression, let's say, for lack of a better word. But are there things associated with that expression that you should maybe deny them?
No.
On the fact that they're a child and maybe
as long as the benefits outweigh the risks and they're being recommended by medical professionals and there's no steps being skipped, then no, I don't think it's any of my business.
Okay, so let me use a more specific example then. Let's see what you think about that. So let's say your child is 15 or
15-year-old trendsetter.
Yeah. Would you consider that to be past puberty?
It depends on the child, but most children are typically past puberty at 15, yeah.
Okay, so assuming the child has gone past puberty at that point, and the medical professionals say that the only thing that can solve their distress is to have surgeries, do you let them do it?
Well, that's not going to be a thing. They're not going to say the only thing to solve distress is surgery. That's silly.
Okay, let's say it's one of the things, not just the only thing.
Well, typically there's not a surgery that you're going to be getting at 15. So.
Okay, so when we're talking on this topic, when do surgeries become more of a thing?
Sometimes 16 can be like when top surgery.
Okay. All right, let's choose 16 then. So do you let them at that point?
Yeah, I mean, again, as long as the child has been, identifying the way they have for a long time, as long as they meet requirements, because again, it's going to be a whole other, there are processes to all of these things. It's not just a black and white yes or no.
No, I understand. I don't think anyone, I'm certainly not implying that they can just wake up and say, okay, I want, to have this surgery right now. And I don't think any medical professional is just going to do that. It has to be a process. But I'm saying in the context of that process, you as a parent, if your child is 16, do you just kind of go with it and say, yeah, that's fine?
It depends. If I had a 16-year-old trans boy that has been identifying with being a boy for a long period of time, then yeah, I probably would be okay with that. I don't. However, I have a trans girl, and bottom surgery is not typically something that's happening at 16.
Okay.
So again, that's going to be very case by case. It's not something I can just answer with a yes or no. And I don't think anybody should be making any of these decisions ahead of time without having an individual child who needs individual health care. I don't think we should be saying yes or no to puberty blockers, hormones, or surgeries without having a specific child who has gone through processes. I think it's silly to just make up your mind. No, I wouldn't give my kid any of this care under the age of 18. I think that's ridiculous to just make that decision
And Dawn,
in a hypothetical.
And Dawn, I don't think this was the direction you were going anyhow, because you're having a genuine conversation, and I really do appreciate that. It's not just a matter of saying, oh, would you just go with it? Because trust me, I don't think any parent out there is saying, yeah, I'm just going to go with it. There's a lot behind it. It's this huge process with a huge team involved. It's not just a matter of, oh, let's go for it. You know what I mean? It's a big deal.
Maybe I got that impression from the title. It's kind of provocative. You got to admit.
Right. Well, the title has to do with kids being trans. You don't need surgery. You can be trans and never have a surgery.
Sure. Well, look, if that's all, that's what I mean. I could actually go with that and just say, yeah, sure, you can let kids be whatever they want, right? I think where the debate is typically is when certain actions or things, physical things typically have to happen. And that's where really I think the conversation is, right? Because you could just say, yeah, let kids be kids, whatever. If there's nothing being done, we're not really debating that. But for example, so sure, I understand your stance now on say somebody was 16 and they feel like they need surgery. you would be fine with that. How about before they go through puberty? Would you? But the medical doctors, whatever, said that they should, for example, go on blockers.
There's nothing medical that's going to be done beyond therapy before puberty.
Right, because the body is going to continue changing, right?
Well, puberty blockers can't be introduced until you start puberty.
Or how soon though?
What?
When do puberty blockers get introduced?
Tanner stage 2 of puberty, and that can depend again on the child. Tanner stage 2 is typically when symptoms start. When you start seeing symptoms.
But then, actually, this is more of a genuine medical question. I don't know, because I've had that term before. But what does that do actually when somebody goes on blockers? What's the purpose of blockers?
It slows down puberty to give the child more time to work with a therapist to live as their identity. And if their puberty is causing them the distress, that is a good way to halt the child's distress and give them more time.
Is that because the natural progression would have been going towards something that more and more, I guess, causes dysphoria? So the idea is to slow it down to kind of give yourself more time. Does that have any permanent side effects, or once you get off them, it just kind of things continue as normal?
There again, it's medical care, so there could always be risks. But puberty blockers are a well-monitored process. You should be getting checked every 3 months. You could end up with a bone density issues, but those you can get prescribed things like vitamin D, high impact exercises. There's a reason why the children continue to get monitored. You end up with more risks the longer you are on them. So typically children are on them 3 years or less, and the majority being under 2 years.
That's a short amount of time?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. I thought you were talking months or something. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, there's always side effects, right, with any medical intervention, let's say. But I guess the question I sort of stated a few moments ago. So once they get off them, do things continue as normal?
Yeah, as long as they're not past that period of the 2 to 3 years or whatever, the period that's not recommended. Yeah, for the most part, things just kind of would resume as if they never went on them, just delayed a couple of years.
Right. I didn't know we could have that kind of level of control over the human body. That's pretty crazy.
Well, they're typically their original use was for children with precocious puberty, which means they start puberty too young.
Too early, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it delays puberty until it's a more appropriate time for the child to go through puberty, and they can be very beneficial to children with a gender incongruence to their mental health.
Okay, fair enough. I guess one other question I have: do you think that gender dysphoria in general is permanent until there's some kind of intervention? Do people ever grow out of it?
Grow out of it? No, you typically do have to make some type of change to what you have having dysphoria over.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my connection died. 1 sec. But what I'm saying is, so you're saying that the only way to get rid of gender dysphoria is some kind of intervention. It never goes away naturally.
I don't know if I can say never, but because I'm just not sure about that.
Right.
But according to Aaron, he says correct. So.
Correct that it does go away, or that it never goes away until there's some kind of intervention?
I'm assuming he meant it won't go away until you have an intervention. Because here's the thing, if you have gender dysphoria based on your voice, right? If your voice is too deep, if you're a trans woman and that voice causes you distress, it's causing you gender dysphoria, the only way to alleviate that dysphoria is to change the voice.
Okay. But that's like a specific example. I just mean, let's say
Well, gender dysphoria.
it's nothing. Let's say the voice generally matches what you at the time or what the child at the time believes that it should be. But the only thing is that they feel like they're in the wrong type of body.
Right. So typically
Are they always going to feel like that?
related to something, right? And it can be puberty as a whole, right? A trans girl can just have dysphoria based on them going through a male puberty, but it does have to do with the changes happening in puberty. And sometimes there can be specific changes that won't bother someone that can bother someone else, that can cause distress with someone else. So again, it's
Yeah, I was also going to say that description of like that they're in the wrong body. I don't think that's exactly accurate. I think for cis people, that's an easy way to put it.
Yeah.
It's just that adjustments need to be made. Like, I don't think anybody feels like they're in the wrong body. Like, I could say that shit, about my body all the time. It's just that changes need to be made to relieve the dysphoria. That's all.
Exactly.
For some people.
And we can, and cis people can have like similar things as well. Like if my long hair is bothering me, it's causing me stress, I can't stand looking at it, I may go make a change and cut my hair. That doesn't mean I feel like I'm in the wrong body.
Yeah.
This means I'm not happy with my hair. My hair is causing me distress.
Okay. Well, sure. And I'm sorry if that phrase offended anyone. It's just a phrase I've heard. It's like a colloquial way of putting it.
It's a very commonly used phrase
Yeah.
by cis people that doesn't accurately describe.
Sure. And I don't want to offend anybody, so I apologize if that did offend anybody. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to kind of, hear you guys clarify your position. That's all.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Thank you for being open for a conversation and like genuinely asking questions and talking. It's really appreciated. Seriously.
Yeah, sure. I definitely learned a couple things I didn't know before.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
You're always about to end as soon as I get lunch.
I know. It's because that's when my kid gets out of school. I know.
Hello.
Can't change that topic. It's funny. Hold on just a second, Seth. And it's funny because I told Casey, I'm like, I'm gonna go live for an hour. And he's like, just an hour? I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get the kid from school. And he's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, you do that every day, don't you? Anyway, all right, Seth, how old are
Along
you?
with the dishes.
Ma'am? Hello?
Hi, how old are you, Seth?
18.
What year were you born?
2006. Of April.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So I had I was in this live the other day, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you have kids that are transgender?
Mm-hmm.
How old are your children?
11 and 15.
11 and 15. So if you don't mind me, huh?
Nothing. Talking to someone in the comments. Go ahead.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how did your kids decide that they wanted to be trans, or was it instilled in their mind that it was a thing and it was okay?
Okay. No one decides that they want to be trans. Being trans is not a want. You either are or you are not.
How is it not a choice?
Gender identity develops in your brain as a child. If it was a choice, thank you, much more people would just be cisgender.
Right, Seth, did you choose your gender?
No, God did.
No. Your brain developed to where you have your gender identity. And for some people, it just doesn't align with their sex, and that's just how it is. It didn't come from God. And if you want to use that argument, it came from God, then I would say that my trans kid's identity came from God as well.
Period.
So do you believe in science rather than
Of
God
course.
placing people on this earth with the gender that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ask, do we believe in science like it's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was weird.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you believe in
Those damn,
science?
those damn scientists.
Well, no, I completely understand the science part, but if you believe in science, then how did we get here and where did we come from? If it's a
I
scientific,
don't really care.
Oh, Lord.
Me neither, honestly.
Yeah,
We're
me
here.
Yep.
Did you have a question on the topic, Seth?
My
or,
mommy
like,
and my
anything?
daddy loved each other very much, and they went bam, and then I existed.
I love how you explain that.
Two teenagers were really
but-
horny, and then I just, boom, here
Problem
I am.
solved.
Abby, can you show me again how that happens? They do what? They
Yeah,
go,
so my mommy and my daddy loved each other very much, and went bam, and then there's Abby.
oh my God, I'm uncomfortable. Do my mom and dad high five each other?
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that God made my children. My husband and I did by doing something very similar to what Abby just described.
oh well, yeah,
Going
that's how it works. But I'm really still not understanding how it's not a choice.
Because your brain just develops your gender identity, just like your other, like, all your other parts of, like, your sense of self. It's just a part of your development that happens in early childhood, like when toddler years. So as your brain's developing and you're gaining your sense of self, one component of that is your gender, and it just forms. Most of the time, it's congruent to your sex, and those are cisgender people. Sometimes it's not. Those are trans people.
So, explain to me what cisgender is. Like, I know the definition, but what is?
Not transgender, right? So female and a woman, or female and a girl, or male and a boy, or male and a man. Because sex and gender are different things.
Yes, they are. So,
like back to my kid, right? She was assigned to male at birth. My husband and I assumed that she was going to be a boy based on that. Treated her like a boy, right? Used he, him pronouns. She had a previous name, right? She was given boys' clothing. She had boy haircuts. That was the thing until she came out and said, "Hey, I'm not a boy."
yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. She just had a recognition. I love that you just said, "Here's my token," as he literally asked me a question about my kid. Answered it.
Yeah, I did.
Wild.
And that's not
So,
what tokenization
therefore-
means.
It's not, but
Sorry.
No. you're good.
therefore,
So therefore, it's still a choice.
No, it's not a choice. No, Seth, see, my son started, like, expressing his gender identity, I mean, at like 2, 3, 4 years old, depending on where you want to draw the line on what instance. Like, this has just always been him. He didn't choose this. My son was not, like, sitting down at 3, 4 years old. Let me think about this. Do I want to be cisgender? Do I want to be transgender? No, he's just being himself. There was no choice in it.
There has to be a choice because children at that age do not know what they want to be. They don't know.
It's not about what they want to be.
What they want.
It's not about what they want to be. It's about who they are and how they feel comfortable. When they put on their clothes, they feel comfortable. When they have their hair a certain way, they feel comfortable. When you call them by a certain name or a certain pronoun, they feel comfortable. When you don't do those things, they feel uncomfortable. And they sometimes at a young age are able to express that those things make them feel uncomfortable. That's what it looks like in really small kids.
And the only way a child would even know or be able to express those things is if it was instilled.
How?
No. Not at all.
If that's the case, why are the parents of trans kids cisgender in most cases?
Right, and did you hear what I said? My child, like, she was 13 when she came out. So she was treated as a boy. Oh, all right, bye.
Yeah, nothing was instilled.
You left?
Like, literally, that's how it worked, then my child would just be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
It's
Yeah.
like you missed the entire thing. They were given a name, assumed, and lived their entire life. So somehow, how's that instill whatever you're instilling the opposite? Like the exact opposite.
Literally, and everyone around her.
All right.
Well, unfortunately.
Well, we had a nice conversation with Dawn. We have that moment.
Yeah, did you see the start, Sherry?
Yeah, it was wild. It was just no. And then the next person, no. But you know what? I can't complain though. I can't complain because I do the same shit. I do the same shit in Ops Lives. If I happen to scroll by one time, and it'll say something like "no gender affirming care for kids," I'll be like, "No," and then I'll just keep going. So.
No, I get that, right? But the thing is, it's just funny that they'll see one person do that and then they'll do it. Like 3 people in a row did that.
Yeah, I know. That's usually my shtick is to just say like one word things and then just keep moving. I like do my drive-by opinion.
But it just shows that they just don't have like their own opinions because they'll do the same thing too. If someone comes in a live and like yells slurs at the host, like the next person comes in, will do the same thing. Like, oh, that's
I know.
cool.
So original.
Yeah.
I know. It's like come up with some new material. I know.
Why are you here? Well, it can be if Abby wants to explain. You know,
Yeah. So probably what happened was
Do the story again.
Her mom and her dad loved each other very much, and then went bam,
That's
and then
and here I am.
If you don't make a TikTok of that, I'm mad at you. I'm saying right now that needs to be its own video.
You should just make a video about that. That'd be really funny.
Oh my god! And then Mel, you and Mr. Mel stitch it, and then do the bam on camera.
You guys should just do that body bump thing where you just like run at each other, like,
Wait.
and like.
But what if you do that and then you have like a little baby doll and it falls out? Can we please make it? I will come and direct. I need this in my life. I need this in my life. Bam emoji, exactly, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bam.
I like it. It's funny.
Bish, remember when you used to have that soundbite of Aaron?
I need to get my soundboard working again. It has not been working for a while. My laptop's being a bitch, which pisses me off because that's my job and I don't appreciate the competition. But I need to fix my soundboard because yes, I still have the sounds and of Mel as well.
I miss that. I miss just randomly titties.
Mine doesn't work anymore.
And Mel, my box is full.
My box is not always full anymore though, so it doesn't work.
It was always full before.
But that's because it had a cap. It doesn't. I think it caps at 100, and it doesn't fill at 100. My box cannot handle 100. Like,
amateur. Oh, I miss college sometimes.
Damn.
What were you doing in college? I was doing classwork.
Wait, people go to class in college?
We don't have time to get into what Bish was doing in college. Mel's got to go.
I know that you and Bish were a little different in college, Abby.
Abby went to classes, things like that, you know.
I mean, what else am I supposed to do at college? That's what I was there for.
I can tell you, but I'd probably get in trouble. Violation.
Abby, it's one of those discussions.
Oh. Why are people just giving high fives to everyone? Just walking down?
There was a lot of that
was
going on.
Lots of high fives.
That's where I need the stadium applause sound effect on my soundboard. All the clapping. All the clapping. Like a full-on stadium.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I gotta go. I have something like in a little while, like after I get back, so I won't be able to go live. And then I have something else going on this evening. I may be around tomorrow, so don't look for me. Be heard. You might be disappointed. Those of you that hate me, you won't see me tonight.
Mel does other things on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
crazy.
see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Sherry, see you guys. Bye. Oh wait, let me see if anybody else is live.
Oh, well, that's awkward. Okay.
You're still here.
Yeah, no, I thought you were gonna end it, and I was like,
I
oh,
was.
perfect.
You know what's weird is it's not showing me anymore. Like, I don't know. Go find someone. It's not showing me any of my mutuals are alive. So, bye. All right, now I'm.